The serious situation that's happening right now is Capcom is under fire for adding the DRM software, or the extra things that's going on with the Capcom games via Steam. If you have a Capcom game right now on Steam, you may want to double check to see what's going on, if you're running any mods or if you're running anything in the background of it, because they are stealthily adding these updates to older games. This is a major issue because when you get the game, you buy the game, you play the game, you essentially bought these things in the condition they were in, and now they're adding this DRM, this digital management system that creates a copyright over an extra layer of copyright protection, but it also comes with a frame rate drop and a quality drop for the games, and it does not run properly if you're trying to run mods. It just completely stops you from running mods, and it's such a major issue right now. The outcry for Capcom games, they're starting to get review bombed on Steam. There's starting to be an outcry on this. The backlash is starting to really perpetuate going forward, and there is a major issue here with Capcom games. Before we get too far, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, all those fun things for YouTube, because the more you do that, the more we can grow, the more stories I can bring you guys. This is from PC Focus. I covered this yesterday in a video over Chung-Li having a nude mod that got exposed during a tournament. It also brought to light what's going on with Capcom games. This is something that seems to have been going on for a little while. Capcom has trying to take a stand against cheating, or at least that's what they say it is. But when it comes to single player games that you are doing your own experience for, now they're adding it to single player games. And because they're adding it to single player games, or adding it to things that people want to just play and have fun, where they're not playing online, where they're not doing things out of the ordinary, it becomes a line that can't really be crossed. When it comes to multiplayer games like Street Fighter, if you're using mods in a multiplayer game where there's cash prizes, where there's other things, I can understand trying to crack that down, but you don't have to bring in these DRM, Devono, or in this case, Enigma into the scene. You just need to put up a tournament rule saying no mods will be allowed in these tournament rules, and then you move on from there. People will accept that as a quality issue and accept that as an anti-cheat method. If you get caught using mods, or if you get caught using these things in a cash prize in an actual online tournament, why couldn't you just get a penalized or a penalty from that instead of penalizing the entire consumer base? And that's where Capcom is now. They're overstepping their bounds from what I'm seeing here. Now, some of the Capcom games that are using DRM Enigma now are Resident Evil 6, which apparently had a 2023 end-of-year update that added it to it. Capcom Arcade Stadium, Second Stadium, Mega Man Battle Network, which I believe is a fighting game, Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection, Resident Evil 5, and Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. All of these you can play by yourself. So this is the difference here. People want to put mods in, they want to play different games, they want to do different things in their games, but they can also be online. Now, to really drive this home, DRM Enigma gave 34 possible virus situations for certain antivirus programs. Capcom started adding this DRM to their old games. All behind this company is so shady. It's developed by a Russian company with no name or address and sold through a website which the domain was paid for through a front based in Moscow, Russia. Capcom has a history of deceptively installing malware in people's computers. Don't play any game with this DRM. That's scary. That's absolutely terrifying right now. So they have some screenshots here, 34 security vendors, no sandbox flagged, and you can see there's stuff like they come up as Trojans. That's not cool at all. You've got people now going to the forums talking about this, I'm seeing stuff moving up here, and this is someone's post where they're getting this from December 21st, 2023. So take it with a grain of salt. I don't know much about Enigma themselves, but they have had an interesting set of forum updates. Now, just for the virus clarification, it looks more like malware, but it's one of these things where it gives you the false positives. I've gone through a few different versions of this. This is from Bitdefender saying the Enigma positive protector false positive. This is in their forums. So there's a lot of questions if they come up as false positives. There's a lot of these sites are saying, yes, they come up as a false positive with their listing. Maybe it's a malware, maybe it's not. Apparently they've registered with a lot of these sites, a lot of these antivirus sites saying that they need to be taken down, but then they come up again, or if you don't have an updated version, it's going to show that. So it's a very interesting tale here, that's unfolding from Enigma. Now, with their website, they do have a forum on there, but I'm just going to bring to light a little bit here. Their support page is literally you fill it out and then you email them, or it sends a notice for support. Nowhere on here can I find their address, their phone number, or anything like that. And usually when you have a tech company, or if you have a company, usually you can find some sort of address. I can't find any. Someone asked them on January 11th, this is just the other day, game performance drops. Capcom has implemented your product in their back catalog of games, and it's causing performance drops, crashes, and has broken many popular mods people use to play the games to make them run better. The PC community is very angry and has noticed the implementation of your product. It is being mentioned in a ton of negative Steam reviews. You should be aware that there's likely huge negative PR. I don't think they care about PR. This little bit that they're putting in there saying PR, all this other stuff, you shouldn't do this. No, I don't think they care at this point. Capcoms are the one, it's Capcom that is implementing this. This is a software they do put out there as an offering, as a tool for developers. It's up to the developer and the companies if they're going to use it or not. So I don't think they're here for the negative PR. I don't think they care. They're just here to get paid by Capcom in this circumstance. Possibly offer Capcom advice to how to implement your product properly, as you've angered a lot of people. I have to say, the response they got from Enigma is no better. Curious, what action do you need from us? Why do you blame us for someone who use our software? Someone use, we do not push to use it. What is our guilt, you think? And why are you so sure that you reported belongs to our software? Maybe you were so angered because you can't use cheats anymore. One person comes out saying, oh, it's going to be negative PR. They respond saying, oh, maybe you can't use your cheats anymore. Tough luck. No, that's not the point of modding. The point of modding is to create a new experience, to have a different experience, to have more fun playing these games, replayability, to do other things with them. And when they come out on a PC, you own the PC, you bought the game in the condition originally you bought the game in. And this is Capcom going back through the old catalog and saying, we're going to update all these games across the board. We're going to add this in there and completely wreck everyone's day. No, you paid for it in the original condition. This is that bait and switch. It's the same thing that we saw with Diablo 4, where they decided a week in or 2 weeks in, they were going to nerf the XP. They were going to completely downgrade everything. Make the town portal call button 2 seconds longer. These are certain things that are in games right now. When you switch them up and add these things that no one asked for in the condition that the game was released. Look at Baldur's Gate 3. They decided patch 5, they were going to add jiggle physics to your balls. I mean, that's not something people asked for. That's not what sold the game. The game was selling fine without that. Was it really a necessary step? Are these really things that you should be on the hook to pay for after you buy the game? After you originally bought the game for the original price, and then you get this rug pulled out from underneath you, and they throw this crap back into the games. They throw these extra things into the games that you never asked for in the first place. That's the problem that I see here. We buy these games in the condition that they're in. Now, there's certain games, yes, they do hot fixes, they do updates to the games, they add free DLCs, but in a lot of cases, the DLCs you're able to download separately if you want to add them to your game. The hot fixes fix things in the games that are deemed necessary. These ideas where you're putting in a DRM or this extra copyright layer that completely demolishes your game, it's beyond that point. You're adding mods to the game. These are things that you're adding to it after the fact. You know, this goes back to where Bethesda tried to cancel the modding community at one point, trying to make it so you had to pay for all these mods to be a modder, and they got completely backlash. Everything came down from that, and then they embraced the modding community, and I think that's where Capcom needs to go. They need to embrace the mods and not stop it, because people are just going to sit there, they're going to crack these codes, they're going to demolish this code online, and they're going to say, forget it, your games are no longer worth us spending the money on your game, we're going to pirate it anyway, and we're going to go to a third party and say, forget it, you're gone. It's going to hurt them negatively in the long run. And on top of it all, Capcom's Enigma DRM breaking support for some Steam decks. This is going to now affect the Steam bottom line if it's actually breaking support for the Steam Deck itself, one of the higher things that gets sold on Steam. Recently, Capcom has been taking a hard stance against modding of their games, claiming it's a form of cheating. Now it seems Capcom is going on the offensive with its anti-modding settlement and adding new DRM protection to some games called the Enigma Protector. It seems to be breaking modding and cheat engine and game compatibility with some Steam Deck models. So everything is out there. Some of the noted stuff: warning due to Enigma DRM, Capcom adds randomly crashing the Steam Deck. Enigma Protection broke the game on my Steam Deck, which is the primary way I play this game. Due to a shadow update, Capcom added DRM to other Mega Man games that can brick the Steam Deck. Well, I gotta say, this situation, it's still unfolding. Things are still up in the air. Is it a virus? I don't know. Is it malware? I don't know. But all I know is it's detrimental to you being able to play your video games the way that you want to. Just to note at the end here, if a company did not do updates and hot fixes and stuff like that for games, they would get it would get negatively review bombed anyway, and games would be refunded. That's why they do that. But when you're adding these tools, these extra little things as extra layers that are detrimental for what you paid for in the game already, it's egregious. It's absolutely egregious, and that is what needs to be stopped. Capcom doing this is going to negatively affect everyone across the board. Steam Deck users are getting bricks now because of these things. It's not good for the long run. Anyway, I've been your Pride Canadian Phoenix Thunder Shadow. I'm signing off here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.